My name is Mohit and I basically come from Indore, Madhya Pradesh. I was born and brought up there. And after completing my school, I basically cracked IIT JEE and I joined IIT Kharagpur. I was basically pursuing my BTech degree there in the Department of Mining Engineering. During my college tenure, I was also involved in some extra CATs and curricular activities like being part of entrepreneurship cells and conducted national level events. After my graduation, I joined Loyalty Rewards as a business analyst, and there I managed my banking clients. Though considering I was from a mining sector, I ended up taking an IT job that was a non-core sector for me. The reason was very simple. I had to make a balance between my social and professional life. So that's why I ended up choosing a business analyst career after my graduation. And currently I'm working as a senior business analyst in Loyalty Rewards. I've completed my 3 years there, and now I'm looking to take next step in my career. I'm basically looking to take up the management roles, and that's why I actively started looking for the MBA options that I could go for. Considering I had the work experience of 3 to 4 years, I thought instead of going for IIMs, maybe getting an MBA 1 year program or 2 year program abroad, where the work experience has the value. That's why I chose this option, and now that's why I wanted someone to kind of help me with my B-School application. So that's why I took help of CareerLabs, where they basically helped me with the application. And yeah, recently I've got the interview invite for the ISB. Okay, so currently I'm applying for a 1 year program at ISB. This is basically one of its own programs in India where you can complete your MBA in 1 year. This program has a minimum requirement of work experience of 2 years, and after that you can apply. Though this does not restrict you from applying right after the college, they also offer the YLP, the Young Leaders Program, where you can straight away apply for ISB, and after completing your work, you can join. But I decided that I will first complete my work experience, the minimum eligibility criteria, and then I'll go for the 1 year program and ISB. Apart from ISB, I'm targeting 1 year MBA programs abroad as well. After ISB, when I'm done with the interview, I'll now start working on the application of London Business School and NCR. So these are the next B schools that I'm targeting. Okay, obviously, I feel great by after receiving the call from the ISB for the interview, and like talking about the application process. So I think the ISB follows a typical MBA application process that you need to have it abroad. I mean, it's quite different from what you will find for B schools in India, like IIMs. So the ISB typically accepts both GMAT and GRE scores, and I basically took GMAT this year. And apart from GMAT, as I mentioned earlier, you need to have minimum work ex required to apply for ISB. So that is currently 2 years. So I have completed my 2 years of work ex in ISB. Now, coming on to the application process, first of all, obviously, you need to have a bachelor degree and a GMAT score to apply. Then with that, you are supposed to fill in an application form. For ISB, you don't directly submit your CV, but they do provide a template in which you are supposed to fill your professional details, your education background, etc. And they internally make their own CV based on the template. And apart from this, you are supposed to write 2 essays. There's a word limit for each essay. It's around 400 words. So this year, for example, the essay topic were in essay 1, you were supposed to mention the most important leadership quality that you possess. And in the second essay, you were supposed to mention the short-term and long-term career goals. Now, being the reapplicant, since I was a reapplicant for ISB application because I applied last year as well, I also had to write an additional essay, which is the reapplicant essay. The word limit for this essay is around 200 words, and you basically mention the improvements that you've had in your profile since the last year application. So that's a mandatory essay for someone who is a reapplicant. And apart from that, ISB also allows you to mention your extracurricular and award details that you typically obviously would mention in your CV, but since ISB doesn't accept CV and they have a standard template, so you can also mention your extra acts there. Okay, so I'll just talk in brief about how the overall process was. So I guess when I started with my application, the career lab. Basically, I had some CV building sessions initially where I had some 3 or 4 calls with the editor, and they basically helped me create a CV there. And then finally, they also helped me with the essays and the final application that I had submitted to ISB. So I think the overall experience has been great. The USP, I would say that they're always for you. They're always available for you. You just write a mail to them or just call them, and you will get a very quick response within, let's say, 2 or 4 hours. So I think that's the best part about this, that even if you are occupied and you are not able to actively take part in this process, but whenever you are, they are always there for you. They will support you. I mean, whenever you need them, they don't typically take, much time to get back to you. So I think that's the best thing. And also, even if you are lagging behind, they will actively follow up with you. And that's really cool, because sometimes we don't realize that we are lagging behind and the deadline is coming near. So I guess in those terms, to just be on track with your application and you don't miss out on important deadlines, I think this is something that I've really got help with. Yeah. So I think profile gap analysis session, I think, is an important piece in this overall process. The reason being very simple. You basically identify what are the missing content in your application, and they basically are very important, because these are something, small things that can basically decide whether you get into an MBA college or not. So I think those sessions were really helpful to identify what the gaps were in my profile. Was it, be it in your professional career, or let's say due to your pure academics, or let's say some certifications or courses. So they not only help you with the profile gap analysis session, but they also tell you how to fill those gaps. And I think that's the best thing. They will obviously help us to kind of identify the courses that we can take, let's say maybe abroad, if you don't have an international exposure, or whatever the gaps are. They will suggest you at least 3 or 4 alternatives that you can do within a period of 2 to 3 months to really improve your profile. So I guess the obviously we started with the CV building section, and this is something that we have been doing from our college days and also in our professional life. So though I knew what to do in the CV, obviously I got reviewed, and the CV building process was absolutely fine. But the most important thing, I think, where I really needed help with was my essays, because normally this is something that we have not done before, and this is a crucial part of your application. So I think writing essays and what exactly the content to put there is very important, because you have a word limit there, and you need to choose your words very carefully. So I think this is the most important and critical piece that I found in the application, and I wanted help with. Last year also, I guess, I applied for the ISB, and when this year, when I interacted with you, I guess I found that my essays were not up to the mark, and maybe I guess that was the deciding factor why I did not get the interview call last year. And that's why I wanted help with my essays, and they basically helped me with how to put your views or your ideas into a structured way in your essays. And since they know that what these schools are looking for in the essays, it's very easy for us to draft our essays accordingly. So I think writing essays is the most important thing that I wanted to get corrected, and I think I have got corrected. I think the overall service, I'll let's say if I were to rate the overall service, I'll rate it 9 out of 10, simply because I think they have been very professional in handling or managing the client. I guess whatever help I needed, I think they were there for me. And also the TAT, or the turnaround time for reverting back on queries, was also great. I think I haven't had a single instance where I had to follow up with CareerLabs that please revert back. I think I've not had any such instances. So I guess in those terms, the service was great. And also the B-School courses and webinars that were available, these resources that were available, they really helped me to, kind of select my B-Schools, because initially I was only applying for ISB, but from the webinars that were conducted and the B-School resources that were available, that really helped me to shortlist my further B-Schools. And I guess I'm pretty much happy with the overall service. When I was having these sessions, I told many of my friends that, if you were to apply for an MBA program, if you think you can do it yourself, it's great. But I guess if you need any help, I guess you should go for CareerLabs. Overall timeline is very important. I mean, you should know when to start with your application and when to start shortlisting the B schools. Obviously, taking GMAT is also very important. So structuring the whole process within the timelines is very very important. So let's say if you are looking for an MBA program next year, you should probably start by this year end for your GMAT preparations and get done with your GMAT preparations as early as possible so that you can focus on your application well, because that is time taking process. So obviously you don't want to work with the GMAT pressure when you are working with your application. So I guess structuring your whole process and getting your initial stages cleared within the timelines is very important. So this is something I would like to suggest. Yeah, I mean, you are doing a great stuff, and you are really doing a great job in helping the MBA aspirants to get to their B schools. And to be very honest, the efforts that you put, I mean, I still remember that Kritika, being available at 10 in the night. So I think the efforts that you put, those are great. And obviously, I would encourage you to keep doing that in future as well. And yeah, all the best.